Saying this was Nvidia's week is an understatement. Nvidia, for the first time ever, reaching number one in market cap, surpassing Microsoft, and that raised the far memory of a lot of investors, saying, we remember that happening when Cisco, at the peak of the dot-com bubble, replaced Microsoft as the most valuable company on Wall Street, and then everyone started to talk about the dot-com and the bubble. We're going to cover that. We're going to talk about Tesla and Amazon. And actually, Apple, we're not going to talk about. We're going to talk about Nvidia and Dell and SMCI. And we're going to summarize the week as we usually do when we enter the last week of the quarter, of the half, of the first half of 2024. Are you ready for it? Then let's go. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Micha Stocks, and on this channel, we talk about stocks. We summarize the week, looking at the headlines, looking at the news, understanding what are the things that are happening on our investment portfolio. And we start, as usual, with the major averages. The Dow Jones is up 1.3%, NASDAQ is up 0.6%, S&P is up 0.5%, and the RSP, which is the S&P but on equal weight, up 0.52. The Russell down 0.79 on the week. When we look at the indices, you can see the XLY up 1.5%, the XLF, which is the financials, up 1.35, and on the flip side, we see a minus 1% for the XLU, which is the utilities after a very strong few months, is now cooling off. The crypto market, waiting for Ethereum ETF to be approved. Probably that is the reason why we don't see too much movement on crypto market. Ethereum is down 0.2% on the week, and Bitcoin is down 3% per the week. And from the commodity standpoint, natural gas cooling off, down 7%, and crude oil up 3.2%. Between silver and gold, we don't see anything special between them currently. And Magnificent Seven, for the first time in a while, Amazon leading the pack, 2.8%, Google up 2.5%, and on the flip side, we see Apple and Nvidia. Nvidia down. That's something that people are not used to. By the way, if you want to follow all the news, it would be amazing if you can subscribe to the channel and, of course, smash the like button if you enjoyed everything that you saw thus far. Let me change the position and start talking about the week that we had. Nvidia, during the week, surpassed Microsoft, ending the week lower than Microsoft, but for a day or two, they were number one, Nvidia. And that, of course, reminded investors, mainly senior investors, that the dot-com bubble happened the same way. Cisco surpassing Microsoft, and headlines with red arrows coming out saying there's a stock market crash coming in 2025. At least it's not 2024 anymore. Now it's 2025. The bubble of all bubbles is going to burst. And that might be true. I have no idea. But, it's funny that these headlines keep happening every time we have an all-time high. Bank of America comes back and saying this is not the dot-com bubble, at least how they see it. Nvidia valuation is still compelling. It's at least from Bank of America's point of view. Apple, that will want to sell their new iPhones, will not be able to do that on the for European customers, at least not the new ones with AI. And why? Because the EU Commission keep putting more and more regulations, and Apple that are not sure that they can stand behind the regulations will probably not provide the European Union or the European Union countries with those capabilities. You can see the list of countries that will not enjoy probably the new AI capabilities. Amazon is considering $5 to $10 monthly fee for Alexa with a revamped AI. They sold millions and millions of Alexas. If they will be able to take it to the next level, that would be amazing. Currently, Alexa is more than a not more than a door stopper for a lot of people. Tesla internal data shows that they let go of 14% of their workforce this year. This probably was considered by the person that published it as a bad sign. I actually think it's a good sign. It means that the company will be more profitable. And S&P 500 keeps getting price boosts. This time it's Goldman Sachs that raising their price target to 6,000. They join Evercore ISI, raising their price target to 6,000 as well from 4,750. We will probably see in the next few weeks a lot of analysts revamping their end-of-year S&P 500 targets just because they're currently so wrong that they have to change something. Tom Lee keeps insisting that inflation is falling like a rock, and the last shoe will be real estate, but before that, it's cars, used cars and new cars, and their price is going down in a dramatic way. If they go back to their long-term average, that means another 16% drop in new cars and used cars prices. Both Citi and JP Morgan understands more and more that the biggest industry that is going to be impacted by AI is going to be the banking industry, whether it's going to make banks more productive, more efficient, or even make better earnings. Who knows? But banking, number one, then insurance and energy on the third place. Elon Musk is building a huge compound for Dojo for all the Nvidia chips. You can see here all the fans and that are needed to cool down such a place with all these computers, all the supercomputers that are needed to train AI. And that reminds us that August 8th, Tesla is going to have a big robo-taxi event that they're going to explain what their approach is going to be on the robo-taxi. And then I believe that Tesla currently is the most undervalued AI play on the market. He's a Palantir bull, an Nvidia bull, and now puts a step forward in saying Tesla could, or their market cap could be above $1 to $2 trillion only by the AI components. That is between 2 to 4 times X from where they are currently. MicroStrategy keeps buying Bitcoins, bought another 11,000 Bitcoins, and currently they have 226, 331 Bitcoins. Multiply that by the price of Bitcoin, and you can understand what is the value that they currently have of Bitcoins. Is it going to be a good choice buying Bitcoin or not? We will only know that in the future. But if Bitcoin is going to 100K or even to 150, MicroStrategy might be one of the most valuable companies in the world. But if it doesn't and it goes down, well, MicroStrategy can be, bankrupt. And that's an issue. Oracle just announced plans to invest more than $1 billion into AI in Spain. Amazon as well is going to invest in Germany. McDonald's is launching a $5 meal deal. It's coming back. It might have sandwiches, nuggets, fries, drinks. No one knows, but people from the industry say that for $5, you might not get a lot in the meal just because the cost of food is so high in the US. Eli Lilly issues an urgent warning about fake compound versions of Mounjaro and Zepbound. These are the GLP-1 injections. They believe that several places made their own cocktail and injected it to customers. Michael Dell says that Dell and SMCI are building the new AI factory, including Nvidia, of course, Nvidia's chips, for XAI and Grok. SEC closes the investigation into Ethereum, and hopefully this will be the last hurdle before the ETFs would be approved. Apple is suspending the work on their next high-end vision, the Apple Vision Pro. They're focusing right now on AI. They believe that there's a bigger market on AI. Same story as happened with Meta a year and a half ago. Ralph Lauren is going to be the one that is putting the uniforms on the U.S. Olympic team. Ticker RL is Ralph Lauren, and Occidental Petroleum, or Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, keep buying Occidental Petroleum. Currently, they hold 23% of the company. They do not want to take the company private, but they keep buying shares. Eventually, it's going to happen just by default. And that brings us to Fisker. Another electric car company is going bankrupt, and this time it's Fisker. The ticker was FSR. Now it's FSR bankrupt. And last but not least, this amazing chart plotted by CNBC showing the odds of Trump winning the election and the S&P 500. They found a correlation, causation, you choose, between the odds of Trump winning, going up, and the S&P going up as well. Orange, Trump, blue, S&P. Is it by chance, or is it because the market believes that Trump as a president will have less regulations and will be better for the economy? We don't know. All we know is that the polls currently are driving the market, or are they? And that brings us to looking forward for next week. So next week, or the week ahead of us, doesn't have too many events. A few Fed speak, not a lot, but mainly Friday, the PCE, personal consumption expenditure. This is the combination between CPI, PPI, and another portion that is not calculated in advance. This is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. And if this comes lower, as expected, then that means that more rate hikes will be back on the table. When we look at companies reporting this week, Tuesday we have Carnival and FedEx, one before open and one after close. And on Wednesday, we have both General Mills before open, Micron, Levi's after the close. And on Thursday, we will hear from Nike after the close. This brings us to the S&P 500. The orange line, as you all know, is the 50-day moving average. You can see that we are far beyond the 50-day moving average, which might mean that we are supposed to see some kind of correction, not something dramatic. We are still in an upward channel, as you can see, from bottom left to top right. We are currently going up. Assumption is we will meet around the 55, 50, or even 5,600 during the week. And after that, we will see. Remember that the 50-day moving average usually is kind of an anchor that, or a magnet that the S&P gravitates to. So just to be careful, because we're about 200 points higher than that. We also have a few gaps on the way. So I won't be surprised if we will see some kind of correction to around 5,300 and then go up to around 5,600. That was the week. We're entering the last week of the month, of the quarter, and of the half. We will summarize everything once we get all the results and all the information that we need in order to summarize and to start preparing ourselves not only for the second half, but also for 2025. If you enjoyed, smash the like button. I will meet you here next week, same time, same place. Till next time, bye-bye.